I came here in 1966. It was just me. They had already established a communication system. It was in the old jail up there in Manassas. So when a call would come in, the dispatcher would have to take the information and then get up and identify with the caller what the address was of the fire. And he'd put his finger on that, and then he would go searching around for the first firehouse that was notated on that map as well. And that's who would get dispatched. I met with the people at the telephone company, and that's when we began to develop the 911 system.
We had no training center back in the days. We started out in a little four-room shed at Oaksville Fire Station burning. And then we borrowed Quantico's burn building and burned there for about 8 to 10 years until we built our training center in '95.
We were able to break ground, start construction, and get that off the ground with a ton of help from the police department, from Public Works, from the folks at Fire and Rescue. Wasn't a one-person show by any means. Something that we all should take some great pride in.
I was doing recruit school. We were teaching down at Quantico Burn Building when the call came in. It started, I was dispatched as a apartment fire in the 3rd floor, and then it quickly spread to the attic and caught a whole garden apartment on fire. We gathered up all of our recruits and came up to Bayview and Woodbridge and started assisting the firefighters on rehab, helping them pick up equipment, moving equipment around, everything that we could do besides fight a fire for those folks, and then take care of the folks that came out.
You're taught over the years about the sounds that a building's going to make when it's getting ready to fall in, and the building was just checking off the boxes. It was saying, I'm doing this, I'm making this sound, I'm making this crack. That was the biggest fire that we had in my generation, for sure.
That was pivotal because that was a large-scale fire that really demanded a lot of resources to put out, and we kind of rethought the way we did firefighting at that point.
I had planned a trip to Hawaii, and that Tuesday was the last day I was going to work. And I got a page from one of the stations saying, plane's going into the World Trade Center, you ought to go look at a TV. So I just kept working. Got a page about the second plane. I went over. I go back to my office and wrap up what I'm doing. We're in a target-rich environment. You know, we could get hit next. Got a page about the plane going into the Pentagon. Well, I knew it was on then.
Telephone communications, radio communications were interrupted, and the eerie silence that I had coming into work, and then when we were standing at the station, usually you could hear planes coming through, and even traffic on 66. You could hear that from the station, and there was nothing.
Rolling up at the Pentagon and seeing the devastation, it was really like our country's under attack, and lots of thoughts going through my head, standing there watching things unfold. Is this how it's going to be from now on in the United States of America?
There was a few of us that went up there to do logistical support until the federal government or FEMA came in to assist. We were up there for 3 to 4 days doing stuff to assist them.
We lost Kyle Wilson in a house fire on April 16th in 2007. And that was devastating to everybody in the department, in the whole service. The volunteer members took it just as hard as the people in the department. And the community took it hard because he died a hero's death. One of the things that resulted from his death was that we did do a real thorough investigation, and then we took the findings and we not only made changes here, but we shared this with fire departments throughout the world. And a lot of people have benefited by the things that we learned about wind-driven fires, about the new way buildings and homes are being constructed, and even equipment. We will never forget Kyle and his sacrifice.
Try doing anything on your own, you're not going to succeed. You got to have the other guys in your class pushing you, constantly getting on you, so that you want to do better. Because one person does better, forces somebody else to do better.
I think that's been drilled into us from day one by our instructors, especially our lieutenant. He's always emphasized doing things the right way.
In the very beginning, I set a very high standard for firefighters to be able to meet if they wanted to come to work here.
You need to be both mentally and physically fit. It's very demanding where you're going as fast as you can, as long as you can, until we get the situation taken care of.
Be prepared to do the job physically and mentally, and not always rely on somebody else to do it for you.
Compassion has to be a big piece of it. You got to want to be part of a team. This is not an individual job at all.
Honesty, trustworthiness, somebody that will never stop learning.
It's really one of the greatest careers you could ever have. And it's more than just a job, it is a way of life. And while we're called a fire department, we serve many needs in the community.
Those who want to be something bigger than themselves. Someone who wants to give of themselves to protect lives and property, and to contribute to the feeling of safety and security of the people of our community. We want to carry on that as part of our legacy to the next generation.